Good morning, everybody. I'm coming to you from rainy Northern California, right outside San Francisco. My name is Karen. Amy, welcome as your first social. And in the chat, I have the lovely Jen O, who is going to be supporting us this week in the chat. This is a cameras off event. You don't have to worry. You can still be in your pajamas and be doing well. Amanda, I'm doing pretty good. So still having, some issues. If you are with me last bit, I just recently had a full hysterectomy. I'm 6 weeks out and having a lot less pain and migraines. I haven't had a migraine since. So knock on wood that things keep moving in that direction. Make sure your chat is set to everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning. Denise, I'm not going to lie, it has been definitely a struggle, but it turns out that a lot of my pain, I think, is scar tissue. And so I'm doing some things to take care of that. And not, Amy, you were right, not having migraines that have plagued me for 21 years is such a blessing. So definitely here for it today. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to leave this up here. Just remember, we have these community guidelines. I'm not going to read through them today. Amanda, thank you so much for checking in. The pain is definitely better for sure. So it's crazy. And I can't believe it's week 51. December is almost done. I don't know where 2024 went. But in all honesty, I'm ready for it to go. I'm ready for a new, fresh start in January. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, everybody. We are still diving into the month's theme of optimism. So, this is a great one, especially as we are looking forward and reflecting on the past and looking forward to our goals and habits that we want to set in the new year. Thank you so much, Karen. Um, okay. I have Snickers. My puppy is here. He'll probably, when you're working one time, do a little cameo. He went out and I had to get him out early this morning so that he would not get rained on. I saw that some of you in Tennessee definitely are having some rain as well. So we have our optimism mind map. If you're brand new, this is something that is only offered at the social. It is going to be on a notes page, a scratch pad, anywhere you want. It could be a sticky note, but it won't be something printed in the journal. It's something just for this time. We'll look at our rosebud thorn, reflecting on the past week, and then we'll get this week set up so that we can feel like we are going to slay these holidays. So, little reminder, I'm so proud of you for making this time and carving yourself out this time during the holidays. It can be such a wonderful time of year, but it can be a really stressful time of year too. I don't know about you, but I always know when the holidays come that traffic gets worse and people get a little short with each other. So, remember, you can't take care of anyone else unless you take care of yourself first. And you guys are doing that by being here this morning. And before I forget, if you are a Wham fan and you love Last Christmas, Netflix has an awesome documentary that I highly recommend going through on Wham. So that's like a total side note. But if you're looking for something really interesting and fun and you are a big 80s fan like I am and you grew up during that time period loving this song, check it out. It's definitely worth it. So we're going to dive into our mind map. So find that blank page in your journal or wherever it is that you want to write. So optimism is a skill that can be cultivated over time. Ready to brighten your perspective this month will unlock the power of optimism. This week, we're going to consider, and this is our third week in. So, week one, we looked at celebrating those small wins. And I don't know about you, but for me, I really accomplished one goal and want to go right to the next one, which isn't necessarily very good. We want to stop and say, wow, I did really great today. This was something that I accomplished, even if it's just standing outside for your coffee for 5 minutes. If you haven't done it in the past, it's definitely worth celebrating. Last week with Jen K, if you were here in the morning, you talked about practicing self-compassion and you talk to yourself, and we really talked about that self-talk. This week, we're talking about connecting ourselves with positive people. How are the positive people in your life? How do they influence your mood and outlook? How can you surround yourself with more positive people? This prompt absolutely resonates with me. If you've been with Silk and Saunders for over a year now,
Oh,
you are very familiar with my story. I am a Pilates instructor. I was originally an educator, and I literally certified with Pilates over COVID. And I was working at a studio that did not have the culture I wanted. The woman I worked for is a very lovely person, but she's not a people person. And it became a very toxic environment. And though I loved teaching Pilates, it was not something that I could continue doing in the way that I did. And so what I did is I ended up leaving with another instructor, and we created our own studio where everyone feels welcome. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your size. You can come in and feel like it is a comfortable place. You're not seeing girls with sports bras and six-pack abs, and it's a very comforting place where everybody can be. And so I couldn't find what it was I was looking for, and so I created it myself. So that is my story for the journal prompt. So I want you to think deeply. And sometimes this is hard, and it's sometimes it may be a family member, and I'll share that as well, that I don't have a very close relationship with my sister. She has some mental health issues, and though I love her and always leave the door open, I do keep some distance to make sure that the negativity doesn't interfere with my spirit. So this sometimes can be hard when you are reflecting on people that are close to you, because sometimes it can be someone that's family, it could be a coworker, or sometimes it can even be a friend. Recently, I have a very close friend that I love, and she's going through a very difficult time. And right now, I have a lot going on. And so I'm creating a little space for myself. Not that I love her any less, but I can't take her emotions on right now because I have a lot of my own, which I'll share some more about that in the rosebud thorn. So I'm going to play some beautiful, cozy jazz Christmas music while I give you some time to work on this prompt. I welcome you to share in the chat. If it does not feel comfortable for you to share, that is absolutely okay as well. If this prompt seems like too much for you on a Monday morning, that is also okay. I give you permission to turn to your coloring page and doodle or color or work on something else, because I know this one can be a little bit deep. All right, everybody. Love hearing about the communities that you found in church, with friends, with family. You may have not finished this prompt yet, but you can always come back to it as we work through the rest of our journal or at another time. But for the sake of getting our week planned out, we're going to move on. I wanted to share this before we kind of jumped in. Keep showing up, keep on seeing the good, keep on being mindful, keep on helping, keep trying, keep on hoping, keep on giving back, keep paying it forward, keep on being the light, keep on shining, keep on loving, keep on caring, keep on smiling, keep on. So make sure as you think about the week ahead that you are also thinking about how can you be that positive person in other people's lives. We are diving into our rosebud thorn and we are going to be on reflecting on last week. It is page 44 in your journal. So I'm going to share my orally. I did not write it down, and I think you'll understand why when I share my story. I'm going to start with my thorn. So, as I've already shared, I recently had a hysterectomy 3 months, 3 weeks in my recovery. My studio flooded for a second time in 4 months. We have to be out by the end of January. I'm sorry, at the end of December. We currently are trying to fight if it is our insurance, the contractor who is negligent, or the owner of the building who has to pay us out. And we are currently trying to secure a lease as fast as we can so that we don't have to shutter. Now, if we can reopen, it will be a bigger space where we'll be able to do privates and classes at the same time, and an office where I'm able to offer health coaching. So it's pretty stressful time in my life right now for sure. Um, the bud, I will share, and I'll be very vulnerable about this one. Um, I have been seeking out during this time period as I try to get my hormones in check, which I know some of you have had hysterectomies too. You've shared that with me. That hormone replacement, I'm very sensitive. And so it is very difficult for me to get that leveled out. So I've been seeking some mental health support. And so I've been using the Headspace app. I'm Kaiser. And so they cover that. And I was speaking with him, and he's like, you need to really be grounded. And that grounding, most of you are probably familiar with the three things you see, three things you hear, three things that you can touch. And I was sitting there thinking, I was sharing it with Jen right before, and I thought I should share it with you. She suggested it as well. And so I was like, well, where is it that I can be in the moment? And an art grown up arcade recently opened in our area in walking distance. And so I went and I played pinball and I played Centipede and I stayed in the moment. And it really did ground me. So that's kind of my bud of like, okay, what can I do to ground myself during this time that's really hard? And my rose is that I was able to spend some time. I belong to a life coaching group called School of Self Image. And there are some local members that I haven't seen in about a year. And I was spending some time with them yesterday in a beautiful environment with some lovely, healthy food full of nutrients and love. So I'm going to go off screen, share as much or as little as you want in that chat. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. I'm so sorry about losing your fur baby. It is always hard. Those of you who've been spending time with family or visiting your old college haunts, so much fun. And those of you who are struggling to find that rose or bud, sometimes it's as simple as I survived last week. And honestly, that's how I feel right now. And Carly, congratulations on doing a 12-day of fitness. I find that those types of things really help motivate me to get me back into those habits as well. I'm glad Christmas parties have been going well for you guys. It's so much stress and so much fun all at once during this holiday season. We are going to be diving into our weekly planner. This is one slide that Jen O made many moons ago, but I absolutely love it. If you are new, I would definitely screenshot or take a picture of this. If this journal does not work for you as is, this gives you some suggestions of ways that you can repurpose any of the areas. I'm going to just be quiet for a moment and let you look and read and decide if any of this resonates with you and would be helpful for you in your journal. Awesome. Now remember, let this journal work for you. Sometimes when we are in the holidays or you are off work, the habits and the time you spend looks different than it normally does. And if that's the case, feel free to make this week look a little bit different. And that's absolutely fine. I think that's absolutely wonderful in the way we should be using this journal. The way I'm going to break this down today is I'm going to share some examples, full page, and then we'll break it down into smaller chunks and give you some time to work. So, looking at this one, you can see someone in their fields used sentences or like not quite sentences, but bullets with more than a word. And that's absolutely okay. You can see the to dos are very global and not specific. They're looking at their mind, body, and spirit. And notice that they've included their silk and Saunders and their habits, their morning routine, and something they love that is crocheting. Denise, I love it. These are some old school examples I pulled from 2022, I think. Over here on the right hand side, you can see it's a little more traditional, but the goals practicing calligraphy, TikTok content. So it can be some fun things. And notice in their habits that they've listed how many times of the week they want to be able to do that. Over here, look, we see need to do, accomplishment, self to do, family to do. So they're kind of working it out that way. They're taking a spin on the Eisenhower matrix of urgent, not urgent, important versus not important. They're weekly. They want to feel motivated, rejuvenated, start fresh with no judgment. So it was more than one specific word. They have some stickers that they are using to mark their habits. Over here on the right, you're going to see that they created a playlist at the bottom, and maybe you have a special Christmas playlist that you want to look. And their how I want to feel, she broke it down on what was going on during the week. Of Monday, want to feel prepared, Tuesday, relieved, etc. And they used the box as kind of a reflection space instead of their normal to dos. Here's another way to look at the to-dos: the important, call, and other, the read, journal, meditate, create, and learn. I love the stickers that they used in this one. And then over here, the to be, choose what you need, and a cute little bingo board and things they wanted more or less of. And notice their habit and activities does not have a number, and that's absolutely okay. And they did not fill in every line. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming if you put that number or add five different habits. Maybe it's a new habit you're trying to establish and you only list one for the week or the month. This week, I want to feel in the chat. Can you throw how it is that you want to feel this week? Here's some examples. I'm going to cross stick someone using a sticker. I love that. Fierce. I want to feel fierce. Someone in control of my thoughts, my time, my words, my emotions. You are already so deeply loved. Joy, fearless, engaged. Festive. I love that, Amanda. Free, says Stephanie. Connected and reflective, said Beth. Peaceful, said Amy. Awesome. I love it. Great. So take a moment to mark that down. Curiosity and hopeful. We're going to move into our major goals. Holly and Jolly. Oh, I love that. Katrina. Oh, it's going moving fast. using last week's Merry and Bright. People really enjoyed that one. Focus and festive. Chris, I love the alliteration, comfort and joy. Yeah, I get it, Zoom user. It definitely can be. I'm going to throw some examples up here and give you some time to work. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm gonna say it. It is okay if you do not put up all the Christmas decorations that you normally do. And it's okay for you if you do not feel like baking the cookies you normally do this year. So remember, this is a time to celebrate. And if it's making you feel more stressed, eliminate something. Use that Eisenhower matrix. For myself, normally we are pretty minimalist, but I was really frustrated trying to get the batteries and the lights for my little tiny pink tree that I use. You know what? I didn't pull it out and I didn't hang the lanterns in my window this year. I normally do, and it usually brings me joy, but it didn't bring me joy. It brought me stress this year. So I just eliminated and put it away and kept things very sparse. So I give yourself permission. I give you permission to do what feels right and fun for you. And if it feels like too much, take it off your plate. We're moving into those to dos. It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. So think about those small steps as you're creating that to do list. Okay, I'm going to share some other examples of this one, and I'm going to give you some time. All right. Chris was talking about she never repurposes the side and she does the B side. Katie, one of our other facilitators, calls it the B side. Funny enough, it usually takes me longer to fill out the second page than the first because I do use it as is. And so I'm going through my pantry, writing down what it is I need for the dinners. I got my meal plan, I'm writing out my grocery list. But we haven't moved to that B side quite yet. We are looking at our habits and activities, and this is just a little reminder to you, stop waiting for Fridays, for summer, for someone to fall in love with you for life. Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for it and you make the most of the moments you are in now. That really goes back to that grounding I spoke of earlier. I also want to take a moment for all those mamas out there. I have a very sweet story. I have a college age girl that her mom comes to the studio, and when she's home from college, she comes to the studio too. We're very kindred spirits. She's a very anxious person as well. And she said to me, we have these really cute socks that have say naughty and nice on it, grip socks, because you wear grip socks in Pilates if you weren't familiar with that, so you don't slip on the equipment. And she goes, these are going in my mom's stocking because my she makes sure everybody else's stocking is full and no one else does. And so I'm going to make sure that that happens for her this year. And I love that for her. But I also want to give you permission to fill your own stocking. I've had a lot of clients go, I'm buying these to put in my stocking this year. And so I encourage you to do that. One day she realized that she couldn't solve all the problems. She could just do her best. She wasn't perfect. She sure did try. She kept showing up. She kept balancing. She loved. She learned to live with grace, grace for others, grace for her own journey. And she became proud of her imperfectly beautiful story. And that really reflects back on, I'm looking, who was it who said, I think it was Stephanie, who was talking about not comparing her journey to anybody else's. I spend an insane amount of time wondering if I'm doing it right. At some point, I just remind myself that I'm doing my best and that is enough. Heading back to that one slide, Karen, here you go. Take a screenshot if you love this. I love these quotes. They really are inspiring for me. And here are some examples of your habits. Remember, you don't have to fill them all in. You can choose one, you can choose two, you can use these for your morning routine. Make this work for you and what fits your life right now. Maybe this is your gift list of that things you still need to buy, or maybe it's a packing list if you're going to see family. Make this journal work for you for the time period that is happening right now. Okay, we're moving on to page 47, that B side. I'm going to take this just like we did the other side. I'm going to share some examples with full pages and then break it down into smaller chunks. The reason I do this is maybe you like something that you see, but you want to put it in a different spot. So you can see someone's repurposed their meal plan with quotes, and instead of mind body, they called it self care. S&M post working out probably their business plans. Over here on the right hand side, they have their to dos listed by their weeks. Um, Eat healthy, exercise. Oh, that one didn't belong. Sorry about that, guys. I must have cut and pasted incorrectly. Moving on to the next section. This one I always love. Someone created rainbows because they're eating the rainbow and they're coloring it in of what it is that they have eaten that day. You can see that they're kind of giving themselves a menu on the right hand side in their mind, body, health, so that sometimes, and I find this to be true for myself too, is sometimes I'm not in the mood to do what I wrote down for the mind body, but something else sounds good. So you can also leave it blank and just list as you go the things that you did for your self-care. I love that they've taken the shopping list and done their morning and night routines, checking it off to get themselves in a habit. But over here on the right, you can see they've kind of done a scrapbook kind of thing where they have covered it, just reminding themselves to be able to deep breaths. And their shopping list is things that they are wanting. I have in the past used this section for things I want to buy. I write it down and then I revisit it at the end of the month and so see if I still want it as bad so I don't do a bunch of impulse buying, which is easy to do around Christmas. So, our meal plan, I have some examples here for you to be able to look at as well. And I'll give you some time. All right. Moving into the next section, the mind body health plan. I love this 4 types of self care. This might give you some different ideas than what you normally do. We can think about it as our mental, our physical, our emotional, and our spiritual. So I like thinking about that and breaking it down. And then I also love this picture on the right hand side, looking at the front and look how it looks all beautiful and perfect. And then you look at the back, and that really shows what real life is like. Behind every seemingly perfect person, there is a mess that you cannot see. You are not alone on that one. And then I will share this example too about the seven types of rest. We all at different times need different types of rest based on the way our life looks. I personally do not like to go through and list every single one. For me, for the seven types of rest, I prefer to think about which one I need and dive deeper into that one or two types versus a little bit of everything. But of course, you're willing, make this what it works. This might really work out well during this time period. All right, let's see. Let us know in the chat what it is that you're putting into your this section, our mind body health plan, or if you're repurposing how. Okay. Moving on to our shopping list. This is one that also gets repurposed a ton. So you can see here, people use it for the types of rest, dinner ideas instead. Maybe you're like me and you're like, oh, if I plan it out, what I'm going to eat each day, it doesn't appeal. So this is a way to kind of get around it. Something they want to binge watch. Maybe you are hitting those Christmas Netflix movies or Hallmark movies. House chores, a doodle, and then using it for some little journal prompts. So, also in this time period, I'm going to also have you fill in what it is you're loving. It's time to create the life you want. And remember, we're celebrating those small wins. So, maybe that's what's in your I'm loving section. All right, we're filling our own stocking. I love what I'm seeing in the chat. So many great ideas. And I love how Stephanie is manifesting stuff. I'm definitely every day manifesting. Let that lease come through. Let that insurance money come through. Let all of this work out. Our time together is coming to a close this morning. We do ask that you share your weekly planner in Sonder Club. It inspires others, and that's where we get our actual examples from. Also, I want to encourage you, if you have not checked out the personal coaching, this is available to you and it's getting rave reviews. It can help you when you're stuck on journal pages, and it is your own AI personal coach. So I'm going to leave that with you. I have some bittersweet news to share with you guys. Tomorrow will be my last social that I facilitate with Silk and Saunders. I am taking a step back and spending more time on my own personal business. The split energy is just becoming a little too much. I want to be able to make sure I give you the best of me when I am here. And right now, I just know that that is not in the cards for me right now. So I hope that you will join me tomorrow evening if you're available, or if you will find that recording. I have enjoyed my time with you immensely. You have changed my life and improved my life so much, and it was a hard decision to make. So I'm getting a little teary. It is a hard choice to make, but know that I will still be in Sonder Club and I will be a participant, because this journal can really change your life as it has mine. I'm going to leave you with one of my absolute favorite songs, Santa Baby, the Madonna version. I remember in fifth grade, I got to dress up as Marilyn Monroe with lashes and a wig. It was the first time that I ever felt beautiful and seen. So much love to you all, and I hope to see you tomorrow night.
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, an outer space convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be oh so good if you'll check off my Christmas list. But Santa honey, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. I've been an angel all year, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, there's one thing I really do need, the deed to a platinum mine, Santa cutie, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, and fill my stocking with a duplex and checks. Sign your ex on the line, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and trim my Christmas tree with some decorations bought at Tiffany's. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. But oh, Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight.